What's good, curl friends? Welcome to another edition of Q&A with Dr. Crystal. Listen, I am in my favorite place, which is soon to be hopefully your favorite place, the safe space where you can bring all of your questions about natural hair care, and I can help you remove these complex thoughts that we may have and get to a place where we are feeling more comfortable and confident on our natural journey. I want to say thank you for joining me this morning. If you have not had the opportunity to meet, I am Dr. Crystal Cunningham, clinical pharmacist, transformational curl care specialist, and the founder of Bold Culture Beauty. And my mission is simple: to help curl friends just like you save time, build confidence, and make natural hair care easy. So we are here today to answer more of your questions about natural hair care. Now, I have gotten a few questions, and a lot of them were surrounding wash day, and so I'm going to answer those questions. But if you've got questions, curl friends, make sure you drop them in the comments, and I will be happy to answer them for you. Listen, this is part of my life's mission, and I am so excited to get into this with you today. So our first question today was, how can I make my hair more moisturized? And to the curl friend that asked this question, thank you so much for your question, and let's get into it. Now, when we talk about moisture and we talk about hydration of our hair, a lot of times we assume that when our hair is, or we base whether or not our hair is dry on how it looks. This is not 100% wrong, but it is not 100% right or complete either. And so I want to help you better understand what you can do to help make your hair, to help increase the hydration levels of your hair. Now, I will start off by saying that products probably aren't your first response when you feel like your hair should be moisturized or that your hair is lacking moisture. Because moisture comes from water, our first response is going to be to make sure that we are creating an environment that allows our hair to absorb and retain the most amount of water. And for many of us, that means that we need to be intentional about wash day. We need to be intentional about what we are doing to and for our hair, and we need to be intentional about using shampoo. So step one when it comes to increasing moisture or increasing the hydration level of our hair is to shampoo our hair. And so when it comes to shampooing our hair, we need to make sure that we are using the appropriate shampoo for the task at hand. And so when we're determining what shampoos we need to just think about our lifestyle, what kind of products we're using, and how much buildup we actually have on our hair. So when it comes to increasing moisture level, our first course of action is to make sure that we just simply shampoo our hair. Shampoo, condition, and then style as you would like. And the beautiful thing about shampoo, although I know we've heard a lot of times that shampoo is not good, shampoo dries our hair out, shampoo does all of these things, shampoo is the gateway though to allowing our hair to absorb more moisture, absorb more water. And so if you're looking at increasing hydration or moisture in your hair, you just simply want to make sure that you're cleansing your hair routinely. And what shampoo actually does is remove all the dirt, oil, and buildup that is blocking our hair from being able to absorb more water. Our hair absorbs its most water during the cleansing and conditioning process, and so we have to make sure that we're creating that space and environment for the hair to drink up all of that water. And when we remove the dirt, the oil, the buildup, and debris, then our hair is better able to kind of drink in that water, drink in as much water as it needs so that it can retain that water throughout the week or until that next wash day schedule. And so I would say for the curl friend trying to figure out how to get her hair more hydrated, how to have her hair more moisturized, step one is to cleanse your hair and to cleanse it consistently. Now, I recommend a window like every 7 to 10 days, and I tell people that our hair is kind of like a sponge. So when we put, thank you for joining me for this live. Just like when we put a sponge in water, it absorbs that water. If we sit it on the counter over a course of a few days, the water will be completely gone from that sponge. The same thing is happening when you wash your hair. So we shampoo our hair absorbs a significant amount of water. When we cleanse our hair appropriately, it will absorb a significant amount of water, and over the course of about 7 to 10 days, our hair goes through the process of releasing that moisture into the atmosphere. Now, of course, that can be different depending on your lifestyle, depending on the environment that you're living in, but a general rule of thumb is like 7 to 10 days. So I recommend that when it comes to being consistent, when it comes to increasing the hydration levels of your hair, when it comes to improving the health of your hair, that we make sure that we're cleansing and conditioning our hair on a routine basis in that 7 to 10 day window. Now, I know another question would probably be, can we use products? What about moisturizers? What about creams? What about oils? And the answer is, it depends. Now, a product in and of itself is not going to solve your problem when it comes to moisture and hydration. It may be able to assist you because some products do have ingredients in them that are actually designed to draw moisture from the air into the hair, but then of course it also depends on what environment that you're in. My recommendation would be to not depend solely on products, because products alone are not the answer. Products are always tools or things that can assist us in getting to where we want to be when it comes to increasing the hydration levels of our hair, but we have to be careful because products can do a very good job of masking unhealthy hair. And what that means is that these products can give us the look of hydration, they can make the hair shiny, they can make the hair smooth, they can make it easy for us to comb and manage the hair, but underneath those products, our hair strands can be thirsty if we are not taking the appropriate approach on the front end to make sure that that hair is healthy, hydrated, and absorbing the most water possible during that cleansing and conditioning session. So I would say to the Curlfriend who is wanting to increase the hydration levels of her hair, start with shampoo. Don't rely solely on a product, because a lot of times products are going to give us a very beautiful look. They will make us think that our hair is healthier than it is, and then it kind of starts what I call the cycle of dryness, which is we get a product, it does amazing, our hair looks great, and then after a while we're like, dang, my hair is dry. So we find another product, our hair looks great, we use it for a while, and after a while our hair looks dry, and so we look for something else. And all the while we are actually adding to our issue, which is our hair at that point is dry and probably packed under a significant amount of buildup, which is causing us to not get the hydration that we're after, to not get the hydration that we desire, and to not get the results that we ultimately desire on our natural hair journey. For those of you who are joining us, welcome to Q&A with Dr. Crystal. I am here today to answer your questions about natural hair care. Now, a Curlfriend sent me a question earlier about how to get her hair more moisturized, and so we're just simply going through what I know to be the best and most effective way to increase the hydration levels of your hair, and then also looking at the caveats of products, because they are good tools to assist us in our journey to increase the moisture and hydration level of our hair, but they are not the answer when it comes to increasing the hydration and moisture levels of our hair. So Curlfriends, if you have questions, make sure that you drop them in the comments. I will be happy to answer them for you. There are a lot of products on the market. I would just say that when it comes to choosing a product that helps you in your quest, start with the shampoo, and then the type of shampoo you use will depend on 1, your lifestyle, 2, your goal, and then 3, the level of buildup that is already present on your hair. You want to make sure that you are getting a product that is going to work. I think a lot of times shampoos sometimes get a bad rep because we're just not choosing the right ones. Some shampoos that are available on the market can be stronger when it comes to cleansing the hair than others, and so you just want to make sure that you are intentional about selecting the right shampoo, that it is actually addressing the needs that you have for your hair, and that you are using it in a manner that is going to be more helpful than harmful. Because of course, if I'm using a product that does what it's supposed to, but I'm not using it with the correct frequency, then I'm gonna not get the results that I need. So one thing I learned in pharmacy is garbage in, garbage out. Even with even with good products, if we use them wrong, we're not going to get the right results. So that's something to be mindful of. But if you are serious about increasing the hydration of your hair, then I would definitely start with cleansing and conditioning it more consistently. So we do have another question from Ashley. She's actually a pharmacist, y'all. And listen, you see this glow? It comes from the products I'm using from her skincare line. They are available at Culture Beauty, so y'all should definitely check them out. My favorite is the turmeric mask and then the facial cleanser, which I am now using, and it is awesome. So a little plug for her, but her question is, what is the best protective style to maintain length for natural hair? So here's the thing about protective styles, and I will say this, maintaining the length, like protective styles can protect to an extent, and then sometimes they probably aren't as protective as you think that they really are, especially when it comes to maintaining the length of our hair. And because our hair, when they're in these styles, we aren't able to cleanse and condition the hair as we normally would if they were out, sometimes they are working against us when it comes to actually retaining hydration and the length of our hair. So if the best protective style, I would say, is a style like a wash and go, like a twist out, something that's low manipulation, something that doesn't require you to have to touch the hair every day, but something that can still allow the hair to be cleansed and conditioned on a routine basis, and that also allows that hair to not be disturbed. So when it comes to things like braids and wigs, you can get them. It's your prerogative what you're comfortable with, but I would definitely recommend that you take into consideration, am I creating an environment that is going to allow my hair to thrive when I get this style? And then when you get it, is it too tight? What about the friction? What about the traction? All of these things that can contribute to our hair actually breaking and falling out. So you just need to be mindful of those things so that you are actually protecting the hair when it comes to these alternative styles versus creating more of a problem, and then not being able to realize the results you desire. There are definitely ways to rock those alternative styles and still retain length. I would just recommend that you, one, base it on your lifestyle, definitely look at the current state of your hair and determine if it is appropriate and effective for you, and then making sure that you don't leave anything in too long, that nothing is too tight, and that you are still able to maintain the hydration level of your hair throughout the duration of that style. Okay, and we have another question, and it says, you have a question about gray hair. So Product Junkie, shout out to you too. Definitely good to see you here. More moisture than natural black hair, gray seem to behave differently. Gray hair can sometimes behave differently, but the approach to caring for gray hair when it comes to hydration and moisture is the same. You want to make sure that you are doing what is necessary to maintain the hydration and the moisture levels in the hair, which again is being consistent with the cleansing and conditioning of the hair, because that is when the hair is able to drink in the most amount of water. In a lot of instances, gray hairs may be a little bit more coarse than our hair before it grays, may be a little bit more wiry, but the goal is still to create that environment where that hair thrives. And when we become more consistent with cleansing and conditioning the hair, when we become more consistent with the practices that allow that hair to absorb and retain more moisture, then we are better able to increase the manageability and hydration of that hair. And then also just keeping in mind that you can use products, just be mindful of the products that you're using and whether or not they are working against you, for you, or with you to help maintain the hydration of the hair. And yes, it can definitely be a little bit more wiry. You just have to be patient. Hair care in general is a process. Grant yourself some grace, and then you will see, like, the more consistent you are, even though grays can sometimes be a little bit, I'm not going to say difficult, but less compliant than the rest of your hair. It's just still the same process of making sure you're cleansing and conditioning on a routine basis, making sure that you're creating an environment that allows that hair to thrive, that will create and that will allow you to care for and maintain that hair more easily. And so I did get another question earlier from a girlfriend about dry scalp. And she was asking what kind of things you can do to care for or treat dry scalp. And I would say that number one, it depends on what the cause of the dry scalp is. A lot of times we think that adding products to our scalp or putting things on our scalp will work for us. In some cases, unless it was prescribed, it may be working against us. So our hair does create its own oil. That oil actually travels down the hair strap to kind of help lubricate our hair strands. And I would say that sometimes when we add more product to our scalp, we are actually doing more harm than good. But without being able to see the scalp, without being able to actually see her scalp, my recommendation would be to just take inventory of what products she is using for her hair, how she is actively approaching caring for her hair and scalp right now, and then to definitely partner with a dermatologist, because they will be able to take a closer look and assess if there needs to be something done when it comes to caring for that hair or caring for that scalp and making sure that it is healthy and lubricated. And to the girlfriends that are just joining us, welcome. This is Q&A with Dr. Crystal, where I hop on live and answer your questions about natural hair care. So welcome to you, and if you have questions, make sure you drop them in the chat. And so Naturally Curly Kinks has a question about how do you know if a shampoo is considered all-purpose? And so I would like you to clarify that just a little bit. If I think I know what you're talking about, I probably would shy away from something that said all-purpose shampoo, because realistically speaking, a product cannot do everything when it comes to cleansing and conditioning your hair, if that's what you mean. If you could clarify, that would be great. But essentially, when it comes to products, especially, the product is going to be cleansing or it's going to be conditioning. And so if it is good at cleansing, it's probably going to be do a less good job at conditioning. If it's going to be really good at conditioning, it's not going to be as good when it comes to actually cleansing the hair. And so I tend to not choose like 3-in-1 all-purpose cleansing or conditioning products, because I want to make sure that I'm intentional when it comes to actually cleaning my hair, and that I'm intentional when it comes to actually conditioning my hair. And I found when it comes to products that contain all of those things in one, that the likelihood that it is going to be effective at doing both at the same time is very small. And so what you want to do, what I would suggest, is that you look at products, determine what your hair actually needs, and then be intentional about selecting a shampoo and a conditioner that meets the specific needs of your hair at that moment. If that answered your question, let me know. If there was something else you were looking for, please clarify when it comes to all-purpose specifically what you were talking about. But if I understood your question correctly, I wouldn't personally select an all-purpose product. There are plenty of quality shampoos and conditioners to meet all your hair care needs, where if you invest in them and use them appropriately, you can get amazing results, and you won't necessarily need that all-in-one product. So Product Junkie says, I know you mentioned a cleansing routine of every 7 to 10 days. Is it okay to cleanse more frequently than that? And I would say yes. It just depends on your lifestyle. And then, well, primarily it just depends on your lifestyle. is not necessarily going to harm the hair, and it just kind of depends on how more frequently is for you. As long as it fits in the rhythm of your life, I would say you can do it, especially if you work in an environment where it may be more dirt or debris in the air. If you are in a situation where maybe you're working outside and you're sweating more, if you're working out more, the whole goal is to create that environment that allows the hair to thrive. And if for you in this season, washing it a little bit more frequently is something that is going to work and it's something that is necessary, then I would say absolutely. Because again, you're not just washing it and not restoring the nutrients to the hair, you are actually removing the dirt and debris to allow that scalp and those follicles to thrive, and then you're also conditioning it and re-nourishing it. So it really just depends on your lifestyle, and then what the specific need is for your hair. Okay, so you're saying all-purpose as in a moisturizing shampoo. And so when it comes to like moisturizing shampoos, so you're just like that would be like a shampoo you would use more frequently. So when it comes to shampoos, there's a couple of different kinds. You can use a moisturizing shampoo routinely to cleanse and condition your hair versus like a clarifying shampoo that you would only use when you needed to do that good work of removing significant product buildup. So when it comes to me, I do use a moisturizing shampoo routinely, but it is not in place of my conditioner. So you can use a moisturizing shampoo or I guess what you would call an all-purpose, or sometimes I call it like a daily shampoo, even though you don't necessarily have to wash your hair every day. It is just a shampoo that does not have super strong surfactants that will remove the dirt, oil, and buildup in the same way that something like a clarifying shampoo is. So clarifying shampoos are like specifically for when your hair, like if you've been using heavy products for a significant amount of time and you need to remove all of that buildup, a clarifying shampoo is an amazing option. If you are switching between products and you want to make sure that the product that you're using is going to be effective on your hair, so you want to start with a clean slate, a clarifying shampoo is a great option. And then usually like once a month, depending on your lifestyle, again, and depending on your hair's needs, we probably all need to be clarifying our hair at least once every few month or maybe month and a half, just depending on our lifestyle and what our hair needs, depending on how our hair is responding to products, then we can use a clarifying shampoo. But in the interim, we can definitely use what you were referring to as like an all-purpose or moisturizing shampoo that is actually going to help us maintain the cleanliness of our hair and improve the health and hydration of that hair. So when you're not using a clarifying shampoo, which I would not recommend that you use routinely, you can definitely use a, I guess what you would call all-purpose or moisturizing shampoo that you can use on weekly, bi-weekly basis to help promote the health and hydration of your hair. And Kinky Curly Come Clean is definitely a clarifying shampoo. It is a pretty strong one that I wouldn't recommend that you would use like on a weekly basis. But if you want your hair to be clean, then you can definitely use Kinky Curly. It is fairly strong. Just wanted to say hello to everyone who is joining me now for Q&A with Dr. Crystal. This is our, I guess, wash day edition because a lot of the questions have been surrounding wash day. If you have questions about natural hair care, Curlfriends, go ahead and drop them in the comments and I will be happy to answer them for you. We've been having a pretty good time this morning answering your natural hair questions. And so if you've got questions, drop them in the comments and I would love to answer them for you. Shout out to At the Real Mile Weeks from wefam.org. Y'all, it's an amazing organization that is doing amazing things in the Central Florida community for at-risk youth. So thanks for joining me. And if you've got questions about natural hair care, because I do know you have some daughters, then go ahead and drop your questions as well. And so Curlfriends, for the rest of you, if you have questions, make sure you drop them as well, because I would love to answer them for you. I had time today and Curlfriends had sent me questions in my messages. So I didn't want to wait until like next week to answer them. I wanted to answer them for them now. And so I do have some more questions. Would you say AG Boost conditioner is okay to use for those who shampoo 2 times a week? Now, are you asking, so you can use the conditioner. It's not like I don't know if I'm understanding. Are you asking if you, wait a minute now. Are you asking, because you're asking if you can use the conditioner. Yeah, you should be able to use the conditioner twice a week. Is there a reason why you think that the conditioner might not be good for you to use twice a week if you're shampooing your hair twice a week? Now, if you're asking, would you use the balanced shampoo twice a week? I probably would not, unless there was a significant amount of buildup in my hair. But when it comes to the shampoo, the conditioner itself, I would use it on a bi-weekly basis. I have used it twice a week when it came to washing my hair. So, I mean, it's a really nice, rich conditioner. I like it. We have it available here at the store, but I would not see a significant reason why you wouldn't. If there was a different conditioner that you wanted to use, you could use that one as well. The shampoo I would not use twice a week unless I was going through maybe the process of trying to detox my hair, but the conditioner I would definitely, I have used it twice a week. Maybe not super consistently, but you can definitely use it. And so Archer says she hasn't had a relaxer in 7 years and my hair texture has changed multiple textures. What would you suggest for training your curls? And so congratulations or welcome to the natural hair world. You've been here for the past 7 years, but I would say when it comes to training our curls, so our hair is going to change like every so often. Our hair just changes on its own. It's just the nature, the biology of our bodies. I would say that when it comes to training your curls, what's most important is just the consistency, finding a rhythm in your life when it comes to cleansing, conditioning, and styling your hair and being consistent with it. Being intentional about the products and the practices that you are using and employing to care for your hair and being consistent with that. Consistency is the key when it comes to caring for your natural hair, when it comes to creating an environment that allows your hair to thrive, when it comes to increasing the hydration levels, when it comes to the ease with which you are able to care for your hair, when it comes to this whole natural hair care journey. Consistency is very important. But when I say that, like if we consistently do the things that work against us, then we're going to have a way harder time when it comes to caring for our natural hair. But when we are consistent with doing the things that promote the health and hydration of our hair, when we are consistent to doing the things that promote the increased manageability and health of our hair, then we'll get to a place where caring for that hair becomes easy. So I would definitely say take inventory of the way you're caring for your hair, take inventory of how consistently you're doing things that are going to push you closer to reaching your hair goals, and then the more consistent you're doing with the right practices, which essentially is making sure you're cleansing and conditioning on a routine basis, that you are intentional with your product selection, that you are intentional with the styles that you select. The more consistent you are with those things, the easier it is going to become for you to care for your hair. And then, of course, if you're curious about the things you should know about your hair, the things you should do for your hair, and what it looks like to be consistent on your natural hair journey, I have created an amazing resource called It Can All Be So Simple, which actually lays out everything you need to know about natural hair care, how to create a curl care plan or a natural hair care plan, how to become consistent, and then how to apply the knowledge you have to be successful on your natural hair journey. It's like Q&A with Dr. Crystal, but carrying it in your hands like as frequently or as often as you need to. So definitely check it out. It's available at boldsculture.com, or you can follow the link in my bio and find it there as well. Let's see, and y'all definitely check out wefam.org. They dropped their website in the comments. Definitely check it out. It is an amazing It is definitely an amazing event. Oh, okay. So back to the question about using the AG. You just want to be able to wear your hair out. I think the best way to get to wearing your hair out is to start wearing your hair out, and then granting yourself the grace to improve your skills, granting yourself the grace to do better when it comes to caring for your hair. The first time you wear your hair out might not be the best, might not be the most perfect, but then just always remembering that as you continue to care for your natural hair, as you continue to practice and progress on this natural journey, that things get easier, things get better, and it will be far easier to execute the styles. Now, you might want to start with a twist out if you're looking for like a uniform and a uniform curl style, and you want to take that big thick hair and make it a little bit more compact. Or you can start with the wash and go. Just be mindful that it doesn't have to be perfect the first time you do it. The important part is making sure that you take inventory of what you're doing, making sure that you take inventory of what did work and what didn't work, and then applying that information and knowledge to the next time that you try. Trust me, girlfriend, I have shed plenty of tears on this hair, and that is one thing that I've learned, that it is a process, and we just have to be intentional about making sure that we don't let that process defeat us. Learn from it, grow from it, apply it to the next time, and it will definitely help you make this process easier. I actually do lock hair care. I do. I am a micro loctician, so it would depend on the size of your locks and what you are actually looking for. I could definitely cleanse and condition it for you. I do reties for micro locks, repairs for micro locks as well. You can definitely find out more. Send me a message or follow the link in my bio to schedule a time where we could talk, and I could see if I can help you meet your hair care needs. You are very, very, very welcome. To those of you who are just joining us, welcome to Q&A with Dr. Crystal, where I hop on live and answer your questions about natural hair care. Now, we've been having a really, really, really good time today answering your questions, and I hope it has been helpful. Oh, great. I look forward to hearing from you. I hope it has been helpful. I'm looking forward to continuing to do this. This is part of my mission to help my curl friends save time, build confidence, and make natural hair care easy. One thing I've learned about natural hair care is that struggle is not a given, but there is so much information right on the internet. There is so many opinions. Not all of it is helpful, and not all of it, some of it is harmful, and not all of it is moving us closer to actually achieving our natural hair goals. And so my mission is to simply help you remove those obstacles and barriers to success and get you to a place where you can ultimately make natural hair care easy. So I'm committed to hopping on here weekly, sometimes more frequently, to help you answer your questions. Make sure you send me your questions, girlfriends. I can't answer the questions that you do not ask. But if you send me your questions, you can DM me, drop them in the comments, whatever you like to do. But send me your questions, and I would be more than happy to help you save time, build confidence, and make natural hair care easy. Listen, girlfriends, the store is open. If you're in Orlando, pull up on me. I've got customers coming in, so I need to attend to them. But in the meantime, make sure you send me your questions. And until next time, girlfriends, go boldly. I'll see you next time.